Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arslan Abbasi, founder of Aventine Lab, as well as the host of Demo Labs. Today, we have two exciting guests for you who are going to be demonstrating their product. We have Victor from iDenfy, as well as Adamus. Victor and Adamus, would you like to introduce yourselves? Tell us a brief overview of who you are, your company, and yourselves. We'd love to know more about you.
Yeah, I think I can start. I'm Viktor Vostrukov. I'm Chief Marketing Officer at iDenfy.
Thank you.
Yep. Hello, everybody. My name is Adomas. I'm the product owner at iDenfy. So I've been working there for more than 2 years now. And yeah, happy to see you all here joining us.
Thank you, guys. Now, for our viewers who are not too familiar with iDenfy, would you mind telling us where you guys started? When did you start? What your business is about?
Yeah, we started at around 2017 in Lithuania as we saw a change in the regulation landscape. There are many new fintechs. We were obliged to basically start KYC procedures. And at that time, we didn't have many providers of great identity verification service. So as a result, we started working on and actually managed to build an initial demo quite fast. And since then, we basically started to work with more of the fintechs, expand to other regions, and offer not only identity verification, but ML service, know your business verification.
And with ML service, you mean money laundering and that kind of thing. Did you, when you guys were creating it, was there an industry in mind that you were working closely with and that was helping you build the product?
Yeah, correct. It was mainly financial institutions, and because we already knew what we were looking for, we just guided us on how to make the great onboarding journey. But then it was a bit of iteration process until we got the product market fit, and since then it's been easier.
Amazing. So, and when you say financial institutions, what kind of firms are we talking about? Is it the banks? Is it lending
Yeah.
firms? What's the size and kind of scope jurisdictionally? Where did you guys start, and what were the size of these companies that you were helping?
Yeah, we started in Lithuania, so initial clients were like lending platforms, mobile fintechs apps, some of the smaller banks, now banks, yeah, primarily financial institutions.
And why them? What was the? It is a saturated market, I believe. So in 2017, what gave you the confidence or the idea that this was the market we need to go after, and these were the exact sort of problems we want to solve?
Actually, at those times, it wasn't that saturated, I would say, because there were some of like identity verification service providers, but we didn't do the complete process. It was either a document check or some documents weren't supported. The solution wasn't global, as well as the country coverage wasn't basically sufficient. So it was a half-baked solution. I would say that iDenfy, we focused on global coverage, and as a result, we found that product market fit. Yeah.
Great. Adamus, did you want to add anything on top of what Victor said?
No, I think Victor has said everything we should know. Well, basically, Victor is at iDenfy way more time than me, so he knows the start of the company than me. So yeah.
Sweet, sweet. And just for the audience out there, for everybody watching, please leave us questions and
Yeah.
comments in the chat. Also, press one if you're watching this, so we know who's actually engaging with us and who's on the chat. And we'd be very grateful for that. And again, this is an interactive session, so you can ask Victor questions. If anything doesn't make sense, just leave a comment and we'll dig into it more. Lithuania, I've heard a lot about Lithuania and the RegTech market there. It seems like quite a buzzing market, and there's a lot of activity there. Is that so? Did you kind of look at Lithuania as a jurisdiction and say we want to cover our own home base first and then look at other jurisdictions? Tell me more about Lithuania and why it's become a more hot area for financial crime.
Yeah, that's correct. Exactly, because we are like the majority of the team is from Lithuania, so we were founded in the second biggest city, Kaunas, which is known for its basketball team and sports activity. Why Lithuania, you would say, it was because around those times we saw a huge increase in EMI licenses. So basically, companies from UK, from our Europe, from other European countries were applying to get an electronic money institution license, specifically in Lithuania. And at that time, there wasn't a lot of competition for Lithuania. So because of that, it saw a huge increase in companies establishing here quite fast. That's why the demand for KYC solutions came around as well.
Sorry for that. And do you guys view yourself as a KYC solution, or how do you identify iDenfy and see yourself in the market? Are you an onboarding tool, a business verification solution? How do you view your tool in the market?
Yeah. We started as identity verification software. Soon after that, started to offer PEPs and sanction screening to build the whole KYC software. But to be honest, the business verification solution became an integral part of the whole iDenfy suite, you could say. And it also consists of identity verification, ML screening. So I would say it's all-in-one compliance software.
Got you. And I believe you have your own KYC product. It's your own
Yeah.
proprietary software, and your KYB modules are direct connections with registries, correct? Do you, when you were building these, were you thinking of APIs of other regtechs that you could bring into the platform? And why did you create your own proprietary product lines?
With identity verification, integrating other APIs basically could lead to some security issues because you wouldn't know who is processing the documents, etc. So it's better to build a product in-house. Yeah, I would say that.
And just want to talk about this because a lot of regtech founders have a problem with, they want to create an all-encompassing solution, but then they it's too hard, and it's going to take them forever. So they create sandbox case management software, and then they plug in KYB, KYC screening. I guess for the KYC and KYB, were there pros and cons that you considered on creating your own as opposed to bringing in an outsider? What were the benefits of having your own system on KYC?
I think since we started quite earlier, we didn't see a lot of available APIs to integrate with them. And you would need to test the APIs to check if a company is reliable. So it basically becomes an issue as well. Later on, when we already have built-in platform, we saw an increase of APIs, but we didn't decide to switch to other platforms because our solution is kind of working well. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I also can add that the convenience for the compliance officers that using our system is very important for us. Time saving, and yeah, and special convenience to find everything in one place. It would be a bit more challenging to integrate many different APIs into one system and have very convenient way of having all the possible risk results and factors about their customer.
yeah. And I guess on the product side of things, Adamus, would you mind talking to us about what the process of evolving the product looks like? What does your day-to-day job look like as well at iDenfy?
Well, it's not a secret. We chose since the very beginning of the company. We chose to work with the agile framework with Scrum. So basically, we have 2 weeks Scrum, 2 weeks sprints where we let's say making implementations and improvements of our product, and every 2 weeks we release a new update so we can keep up with the market, with the new regulations, with the clients' requests and things like that. Regarding of the product and its roadmap, so we plan a few years ahead, very Skyview roadmap of what we are planning to achieve. Then we divide that into quarter roadmaps, a bit more detailed things we want to do, and later on we go to the backlog management, and we just detailize the things we want to do, and we try to achieve that with our IT team.
Amazing. And do you guys all work from an office location? Are you an international team? What's the setup for you guys as a team?
Well, our team is Lithuanian, the absolute majority, but we're working remotely, and we have also the offices in Kaunas and in Vilnius. So some of people like to work, let's say, part-time home, part-time office, some only remote. So it's very flexible for our colleagues to work.
Yeah, and I asked that because again, part of my own challenge managing a RegTech was managing a team that's partially in Estonia, partially in Dubai, partially in UK, and trying to get the product team to be in sync with the commercial team so we know what they're up to and we can sell that across. That was always a challenge, and I always found that product and commercial team should have a bi-weekly catch up so we could report to them what part of the platform is being sold heavily and people love, and they could tell us what parts of the platform are being upgraded. What were your challenges early on as a RegTech, trying to make something work and working with your team to achieve it? Was there bottlenecks with products? Because I know, when you're trying to build a beautiful and comprehensive product, it takes a while, and even then, it's going to have lots of bugs. So, how did you find it with your project?
I would say we had quite a few challenges. It's just from maybe different dimensions, you could say. First, of course, since the company was bootstrapped, it was a revenue issue in a sense that the project was built in with core team. And as you can imagine, we didn't have a lot of clients. So we basically were burning much more than we basically were earning. Regarding the product, there are always challenges, especially in the UI UX side of things, because as you can imagine, many different customers are performing identity verifications daily, as well as business verifications, and everyone imagines the process in a different way. So to basically synchronize and have a solution as suitable as possible to as many individuals or companies, that is challenging, I would say, and to make it work well with in both internal team and new and existing clients, that's the biggest one. Yeah, maybe Adam,
Yeah,
you
it's
have
not.
something.
Yeah, it's also not the user experience wise, but also the regulation wise. So
Yeah.
we see some customers that are coming to us that interpret new regulations even wrongly. So they think that it's some things should be working differently than we done, but it's actually the false information they gave. They received from somewhere. So our also mission is to to teach and to, let's say, our customers how things should be happening here. So that's also a bit challenging when you try to build products. Yeah.
Yeah. And on that, I felt like one of the most challenging part for a lot of companies is not being one in a million, but being one in a few, right? Standing out in a smaller category, but truly standing out and not trying to become one thing that everybody loves, because that's impossible. You got to be loved by a few, and that's your true market. So would you say you have found your kind of niche, and that is financial institutions? And how did you become one in a few as opposed to one in a million?
Uh, I would say when the customers come to us, what we notice is that we see a really great feedback from like other well-known colleagues or even from seeing competitors. And when we actually check the reviews, we notice that the platform is indeed great, not in words, but in actual development.
Yeah. So
Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah, so I was mentioning about the review process, and a feedback when we receive from new customers. They either heard about iDenfy from other colleagues or saw just testing other platforms, and they noticed quality
Yeah.
as well as maybe consistency, of what you're doing. Yeah.
So for you, Victor, you would say it's quality and consistency is the means of how you became kind of stand
But
out in a saturated market now, right?
yeah, but also like that quick iteration. I think we didn't lost that sense of uh, building the product based on the feedback and iterating that we are doing quite well.
Awesome. And Adamus, do you have any further to add on how you become product wise and a company wise? How do you stand out in a saturated market?
Yeah, I think I agree with Victor. The main idea is, I think that we do not, let's say, produce the product for the customers. We do it with the customers. So we receive the feedback, and together we improve. We try to, if one customers find something very special for them. In most of the cases, it works with all the clients. So we try to build that product based on the user experience and our clients' experience, and they are from various countries with various, let's say, cultures, various regulations. So we try to fit and make the product, yeah, based on the feedback that could help
Awesome.
clients to love.
So you have prepared a presentation to kind of give us an overview of the company, and then we're going to dive right into the demo. Guys, I just want to remind everybody in the chat, if you're watching this, leave us comments, questions. This is your opportunity to learn about iDenfy, learn about the RegTech market, see a really slick product from my opinion. But yeah, I believe one of you have prepared a presentation to give us an overview. There you go.
Yeah, honestly, I think out of answering questions, I think we managed to provide some of the picture, but just a bit more of contextual data. As you can see in the right, we have those core products. So it's identity verification, business verification, ML screening, fraud scoring, face authentication, address verification, proxy detection, NFC verification. And to be honest, we have also bank verification, aid verification, and even basically checking SSN and criminal background checks. So variety of products which could be fit in our core one. And yeah, I think we can move to slide. Okay, so explain a bit more about identity verification solution. As I mentioned, once we built in the global, once we managed to support the global coverage, that helped us to acquire customers from other regions, and as well to support the local ones with adapting client base.
Okay. And what's if you go back, what's the 24/7 human supervision service?
Yeah, it's an additional basically add-on. Whenever customer feel that we would like to increase the success rate, and we would like to ensure that there isn't any fraud undetected, we allow them to use our human supervision service, which consists of in-house team of reviewers who help to supervise and verify verifications in case we see some odd scenarios, I would say.
So it's like an extra service if a company
Correct.
needs somebody to look further in a case.
Correct.
They don't have the resources like AML analysts and so on. Great stuff. Thank you.
Yeah. And, as the webinar's topic is around business verification, I would say that's our not the core, but the product we're really proud of, because especially with companies onboarding, there are many new developments and the software is still progressing. And I think we managed to find a great product fit. And Adomas, if you're okay, I think you can take over with a demo.
Okay. Yeah, so I will start with the demo. I will try to be quickly. I will show the key functionalities, key places where AI comes to the help here. So I'll start with the workflow selection. So basically, is the place where the user journey of onboarding starts. So our clients can create the workflows from the scratch to select what information they want to collect, how they want to collect, from what data sources. We can also apply different automated rules that helps us to save time and reduce human errors. So we can combine what we want to check for each our entity that has filled in the applications. So for example, as we mentioned in the previous discussions, like the sanction screening, PEP screening, we can retrieve various documents from the Gov registries, from the credit bureaus, from the Secretary of State filings in the US, and things like that. So all of those things are automated. So I will show you how it looks like. So I just copy the simple link. We can do that. Basically, we can send that link via email. We can also generate it via API, and it's very, very flexible. I will show you the most simple way of just doing it manually. So I paste the verification flow to the next link, and here you can see the first initial page where user must confirm with terms and conditions and privacy policy. Those things can also be adjustable and even removed. The next page is find your company page. So it's just a quick helper for the clients to find their companies in the list and just to prefill the data. So why the Lithuania is pre-selected, because my IP address current is Lithuanian. That's why we chose the first option to be Lithuanian. But I will switch to United States, and I will search for the United States well-known company, Sophie Technologies. And I will show you how it works. So let's say my company is this. I found it. I press continue, and here the AI, together with Gov registers and credit bureau reports, find the information about the company and prefills that for the end user. So the end user will not need to write everything manually, right? So we can see that the absolute majority of the information has been found and pre-filled by the AI. We can see the AI badges on the right side of the field. So it means that the AI has provided this information. So if the user, the client, adjusts the information, we can see that AI badge disappears. So we know that it was let's say reviewed by the customer. So that's the one thing where the AI comes to the help, right? And the second one is the document uploads. So I will upload the document and show how the AI will help users to navigate through the process. So basically, I'm now uploading the document certificate of incorporation, but for that belongs to another company. So here we can see that the document type matches, but the document name is matched. So it means that I've uploaded the right document. It's really certificate of incorporation, but it just belongs to another company. So it's not to restrict users from moving to the next step, but it's just simple, let's say, flagging that, hey, maybe you uploaded the wrong document. And yeah, and I want to mention that the whole form, everything from the logo to the colors and fonts could be white labeled. The fields can be removed, added. You can make them required, leave optional, and everything is very, very flexible.
Thomas, if you don't mind me asking a few questions here. So there's an OCR technology built into when you upload a document. The system can read the PDF or the document attached, extract the data, and analyze whether that data is consistent with what's being put in the rest of the system.
Yes.
And where do you, so when you typed in the company's name, where did you extract that original data points from? Because for US, obviously, the data points might not be publicly available. So who are you particularly connected to for various jurisdictions?
Yeah, so it depends. So for example, as an example where all the company details has been found, so the majority of the information has been found by the AI from the publicly available documents, as you would simply, find on the let's say, I don't know, ChatGPT or somewhere else as you want. So it was done by us, and it just helps users to write the right information, because we saw that especially in cases such as the US, users provides wrong registration numbers because they mismatches them with, for example, tax identification number and things like that. So it does that a bit better, but the user at the same time they can adjust the information if it was done incorrectly. And we also see the increase in decrease in time spending on this page when the AI helps us to get.
Where you register, how do you get the information for particular businesses? So for UK, for US, for Lithuania, are you hooked up to registries, public sources, private sources?
Yeah, I will show that once the company will be onboarded. But just quickly, I can tell that we have few sources. So the one is Credit Bureau Global. So we retrieve the data from the various credit bureaus databases. The second one is Gov Registers, is direct registers to each countries. It's also worldwide. Regarding the information we can get from those sources, it depends on the countries. So in some countries we can get the even the UBOs and shareholders. In some countries not. So for example, in United States they do not disclose the shareholders in majority of the states. And also, but for the US we have Secretary of State filings reports, which is very important in that region. So yeah, it very depends. For example, in Lithuania we have direct access to registry centers. So we cannot have that information, I mean, on our side, but we can make an agreement with registry center and our client. And if our client is obliged to get information about the shareholders from Lithuania, then we can make that access integrated in our system. So it's pretty.
Got you. My point here is I think a lot of RegTechs face the problem. Their clients can't really tell where the data is coming from because they're hooked up to various sources, static databases. Here, we could be confident that we have a RegTech that is either hooked up live to the direct registries or is getting it from a direct credit bureau. So there's always an audit trail and a directivity here. And rather than we use 3 third parties who have their own databases and sources. So thank you for that. Sorry, please continue with your demo.
Yeah. Okay. So I will move further to the next step. Now the company application is creating. We would see that on our system that company has been successfully created, but the next step are going on for the end user. So for the Europe, we have the bank verification step where it's also optional, but our customers can request their clients to log into their bank account and provide us details about the company IBAN, so whom it belongs, the balances, and also the transactions for up to 1 year. It's pretty common thing in the European Union, and it helps companies to reduce, let's say, red flags of the clients, because company can be registered not while ago, but if they, let's say, have the legit bank account, then it looks like the company has less, let's say, red flags, right? Because they have legit bank account. Yeah. So I will move further. I just pressed that my bank is not listed here because I don't have the company bank account with me credentials. So
looks good. Sorry, I was just
so I will continue to the directors page. So here also everything is pretty much customizable. We can provide the directors details. So for the demo purposes, for one, I will provide Anthony Noto, which is the CEO of the Soft Technologies. I will provide just to see how it looks like. I will skip all the details for a quicker demo. And here I require it to for our clients to, let's say, complete the identity verification, right? But let's say the Anthony Noto is not. I'm filling out the form on behalf of the CEO, right? So I just can press that verify director identity later. I can provide the director email address, and I also say to him like, hey, I just fill out the form on the iDenfy. Please take a look at your email. You should complete the identity verification so we could get approved here, let's see, right? So I will send the email to, of course, iDenfy domain for the demo purposes. But now I will add the second director, John Doe, for demo purposes, and I will show you how it looks like. How it looks like on the identity verification when it's performed directly on the business registration form. So I will just simply press save and start the verification now. Yeah, so here it is, the identity verification. It's pop-ups on the screen, so we can see that language was Lithuanian, but it's also again because my current location is from Lithuania IP address.
Just Adamus, you had a bunch of languages there. You don't need to go back to it, but how many languages does the system support, and is it multilingual actually?
Yeah, the identity verification has more than 30 languages.
Arabic, Chinese, Cantonese, those kind of languages included?
Yeah. Not even Latin languages, but even not Latin languages are
wow.
Supported. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so then user must select the country and the document they are going to proceed identity verification with. We know that, and we can do that. We can skip those steps. So the user would be, let's say, moved directly to the company, to the document capturing pace. But basically, in some cases, we enable the require user to select document and country because especially in some markets, when the user selects the document and the country, they know what exactly they are capturing, and it increases the success rate of completing the identity verification. We know that each client is very important for every company. So we'll start with a demo driver license. So that's the capturing step. I will capture the driver license. Here is the selfie. I will capture, of course, the document one. Yeah, so you will see that the identity verification must be not approved because of the selfie and the document I've grabbed the wrong. So yeah, so for the user experience, we allowed for our customers to complete 3 times identity verification for the directors, just in case they did something wrong, and we do not left the let's say the director that has not completed the identity verification. So I can programmably just for the demo purposes skip this step, but let's say usually we should continue this 3 times, and if we cannot continue 3 times, we would be skipped. So basically, yeah, we can see that John Doe identity verification was unsuccessful. We reached the limit. I've done that programmatically for demo purposes. And the last thing I want to show is how the AI document validation works once again. So previously I provided the company document, which even has the document name in the document title, but I will show you that it works with all the kinds of documents, and it reads it. So I will provide the utility bill that is mine, and basically you can see that in the title it's not written the document type, so we can see that document type match and name match and surname matches, and surname matches the document and applicant. Yeah, so I will just remove that. Yeah, the next step is representative. I will just I guess I will skip that step. Let's say the company does not have any representatives that represents the company on this application. And here we have ownership structure details. So you can see that both directors, Anthony and John, is listed on the top, because we see that in most cases the director is also the shareholder, so we can add them directly. We don't need to provide the data again. We don't need to proceed with identity verification again. So everything is, for clients convenience. let's say, and then I will add one more shareholder just to show you with the sanctions and stuff like that results. So I will provide John Escobar, and we'll add it to the form. And yeah, and I will add also the percentage I missed. So of this. Yeah, so I confirm that there are no more shareholders who hold more than 25%. And the next step is questionnaire. So you can add custom questionnaire to the form where users can provide additional information. You can ask questions that maybe does not fit into the company details, into the director's details. It's just like, for example, number of employees, right? It's like, for example, 5,000. When we can add the select questions like annual turnover, source of company funds.
So this is basically a customizable form where we could edit it and have whatever we want on these kind of flow, isn't it?
Yeah. That flow is customizable by the information you want to collect. You can add more fields, you can add less fields, but this last step is basically very much customizable. You can add anything. You can also add dependent questions. So if you, for example, select one question, you can see another question appearing based on the answer and things like that. So it's very much customizable. Yeah, so this is, let's say, the last step. Here is the quick overview of what we have been filled. So we just submit the form, and we can also add the email verification to save your credits, to save everything, because once the company is submitted, we proceed with a bunch of security things. So we can require customers to confirm the email before submitting the form, just for let's say your convenience. So that's it. Company is onboarded. We can redirect that everywhere we want. For demo case, I redirected to iDenfy bank verification landing page, and then we can switch back to the dashboard. So here we can see that the company is under submission, and now it's processing. Processing means that all the security things are happening, and it takes usually up to a few seconds or up to 1 minute or something. So, and once those rules are done, then the company is get back to the need to review status. Here we can see now it's refreshed, need to review. So we know that the company is fine. It just now we need to, let's say, review the results and make a decisions, right? Whether it's on board the company, whether we need some more information, and everything like that. So in the first initial tab, we can see company details, main company details, and main related subject details. So we can see what company has been provided. We can see the directors. We can see the UBOs. We can see the identity verification, like, for example, here that has been denied. The one that I've shown you, we can see the shareholders and everything on that place. Therefore, on the left side of the screen, on the other compliance information, here we can see the main things that has been done for that company. So we can see that risk assessment has not been done because we haven't added to the form. Then the company address risk has been received. Address verification has been done. Website audit has been done. We ordered automatically credit bureau report. Gov registry report has not been ordered by us. We haven't added that rule. We also verify the EIN number. So it means that the company provided tax identification number in US is legit and belongs to that company. On the right side of the screen, we see the overview of that whole AML stuff, like sanctions, PEPs, adverse media. So here we see that, for example, Sophie Technologies has found in the regulatory enforcement list. We can press view and see the details. So we can see that here is 2 companies has been found with the matching score of 93. So it's not the same company, but with that matching score. So we can review the results, but basically we can see from the name that it's not the same company. So we just press false positive. We can leave the comment and submit the status. In case we would want to find the exact company, more accurate results, we recommend using 95 as a minimum matching threshold for the company search. So you can see that here I've used 90% as a matching score to be accepted. So those two companies with 93 has been found. And yeah, I submit the status. So you can see that status has changed to false positive. I also can review all the results of each other client. So I've opened the John Escobar. We can see what happening with him. We can see his associations. So he is associated with those people who are the members of 18th Street, which is the well-known gang in the US. So we can see it as a potential red flag, and we can make a decisions based on that. The next tab is company details, so we can see all the information about the company. We can see the IML statuses. We can see the questionnaire answers. We can see the related subjects, so all those all related people results. We can even see the detailed identity verification results of the clients. Let me just it's here. So we can see that this demo I've shown you has been denied. We can see the statuses such as face uncertain and doc spoof detected, of course. So the director has been denied. The next tab is website audit, where you can see that website risk score is very low of this company. It has long domain age of 28 years. It has trust score. It has popularity score. It never been blacklisted and mentioned as wrong website in no databases. Then we have bank verification. So here we know that the bank verification was not just performed, that we can read that the customer just marked that my bank is not listed here. So it means that he should have done the business verification, but he skipped this step. All right, then the other risk factors. So we can done a bunch of different risk factors check, like to check whether the company website domain matches the email domain, to check whether the IP country matches company email duplicates. We can find through the system and stuff like that. So it's you can see it's very instant results, and it could increase or decrease the risk score of the client. On the right screen, we can see the address verification and address audit results. So we see that the company address has been verified. Quality of the addresses provided was really good. Then we can go to the next tab, which is ordered reports. So here, as I mentioned, you can see that for this particular company, we have ordered 3 reports: credit bureau report, Secretary of State filing report, and AI-generated report. So AI-generated report is kind of new thing for us. We use AI to check the various companies' databases worldwide, and let's say proceed with the complete the PDF of the company of what information has been found to provide even the red flags of the company. Yeah, what else? Oh, and that's AI assistant also. It's very, very important thing, I guess. So we have implemented the chat where we can ask AI to anything about this particular document. So for example, the Secretary of State filings is pretty long document, so we can press just summarize the document, and it will summarize this document into the chat for the compliance user convenience. We can also get the red flags. We can also ask, for example, who is the shareholder, answer in Lithuanian. I can basically write the question in any language I want. I don't need to write it in English. And it says, like, for example, in this particular document, there is no information about the shareholders. It's just written in Lithuanian, right? So it saves time when you can, especially if the compliance officers do not speak.
If I get an Arabic or a Chinese document, I can ask this to check for the name, if it matches my client's name, if it can check the document.
Yeah, what we can see that let's say AI assistant is not that useful when we gather the data from the publicly available sources, right? Because it's in English, it's well structured and stuff like that. But our clients are obliged to collect the data from the clients. So as I show you, for example, the incorporation certificate, or the proof of address, or the, let's say, shareholders structured document signed and stuff like that. And when the companies are working worldwide, right? So they have customers from various countries, and those documents in most cases are in native languages. So, for example, if you onboard German customer, then they will provide you documents that are written in German. If you onboard companies from Spain, you will have Spanish documents. So with that helper, you can just ask questions about the documents and they will be answered. So I guess it saves a lot of the time of the compliance officers. Yeah, so that's it from here. The next step is company comparison. Well, in most of the cases, what the main task of the compliance officers and the companies that has to be onboarded is to cross-match the data that client has provided against the publicly, not the publicly, but against the available data sources, especially from the registries, right? So this AI can automatically cross-match the data. So in this example, we can see that, for example, company registration number has matched, region has matched of what client has provided and what we found on the credit bureau report. Let's say we can see that, for example, activity code did not match. We can see some partial match, which could be considered as a matches in most of the cases, but still it compares all the data. So here the next important thing is that we compare not only the company data but the beneficiaries data. So here we can see that in the report the director.
Oops, sorry.
Mhm.
I was just trying to ask a question here. Is this printable on PDF as well? So could I PDF?
Yes, when you export the PDF of the whole company profile, you will see everything about the company in one PDF, starting from the information to audits to everything.
But this page here, I can print this off on my desk, have a look at the kind of that. Basically, this is a really slick page, and I really like the analysis you've done. I don't think I've seen a lot of this. And is this? Can I sign this off as well? Is there an
What you mean by?
So let's say I'm an MLRO, somebody sends me this case for review. I've reviewed all the information, everything is good. Is there an audit trail or is there a confirmation that MLRO has viewed this case and has signed off?
No, for that particular case not, but we have the internal chat and comment sections in the KYB platform. I will show you quick later. So where the, let's say, company colleagues can chat about the company, and most of our clients use that pretty much. So for example, hey, I've checked this. They can then tag another person. Hey, you must check this and stuff like that. So that's how it works. Yeah. So to move back, we can see that Anthony Noto is real. This is real CEO. It was provided in the system, and the client provided, and it's also provided in the credit bureau report. John Doe, the one that I've shown you demo with, is no data in the report. So it means that it's not the person that provided in this. And the last step, which is, I guess, very also important, we see this part, which is beneficiaries listed in the report, but not listed in the system. So we see that, for example, the second one, Sean Baker is the shareholder of the Soft Technologies. It's a shareholder in the credit bureau's report mentioned, but the client has not provided his as a person in the system. So it means that maybe they hide him, maybe he's, I don't know, PEP, or maybe he's sanctioned and they don't want to show him to us. So that's also, I think, important thing, to see. Yeah, so this Christopher and Baker.
Looks good, thank you.
Yeah, so okay. So I guess here that's it. The uploaded documents, the same chat I show you of the client uploaded documents. Sorry, and that's it from this part. And the next part is the last tab. Let's say, so we can see on the left side the comment sections I've mentioned where the compliance officers can chat. I haven't left any comments here because this company is new, right? So the next very, I guess, important section is audit logs history. Here you can see all steps, basically what has been done by the client, what has been done by the system, and what has been done by you. So if you allow your customers to, let's say, adjust the registration number, it will show that the registration number has been changed from X to Y by the client. if I will do that, it will show that the registration number was changed from X to Y by Adomas, right? So you know that's not the client, it's me. And if the system doesn't send checks, it will show that the system here, for example, in the first example, you can see that UBO beneficiary AML check has been done automated, right? So everything is logged. So we can follow everything in this, and I guess it's very, very important. And the automation status. So here you can see what automated rules has been done. So for example, the second one has been skipped, VAT number validation. So it's because we onboarded the United States country that has a EIN number and not VAT. That's for Europe countries, right? Yeah, and for ongoing due diligence, I want to show, the last step, request update. What you can do with our system also. You always need to ask your clients to update some information. Maybe they provide something wrongly. Maybe it's time passed and you need to do the ongoing due diligence after 1 year, right? And things like that. So with our system, you can do it really, really convenient in really convenient way. I can say that. So I will show you just quick example here. We can select for example, registration. Like the registration number to be edited and make them required. I will show you how it looks like for the end user later. And let's say country and leave it optional. And I can leave the note for the client. Let's say adjust country and the registration number. Then we can scroll down, and let's say we want to also additional as to require some documents. So for example, bank of statement, but let's say it's not that important for us, so we can leave that field as optional. So we just provide the question name, we provide the type of the answer, and that's it. And then we need to provide the client email where we will send that update request. So I'll provide my email. We can apply the text. We can say, hi, you should do that and that. So I will just send the empty email, and let's wait a second. I will open that.
So the goal here is, Adamus, while that's loading, it's your high and medium risk clients. You can put them on reminders to every 3 months, every 6 months, every year to get a new KYB, to redo their KYC, to send them a new questionnaire.
For a lot of the cases. So for example, in this, right? So the customer opens the same link. He can see what he has provided, what he needs to adjust, and he opens this form. So you can see that we required him to adjust the registration number. It's required, and we allowed to change the country. If, for example, if he wants to update. So we can do that with the whole form. We can just, for example, make allow to edit all the information except of the company name and let's say registration number, because obviously it could not change right during the time. So so that's very, very much flexible for us to allow our clients to edit just specific data, not everything. So yeah. So let's say like this, then he scrolls down, he can see that he also needs to upload the bank statement. It's optional, but here it is. They upload, and basically, yeah. And then the same process, submits the form, he verifies the email. We can remove that for the request update, of course, because maybe it's the same client, so we don't need to let's say verify the email again. But yeah, it's how it is. So the client just confirms the email. 1 second. Yeah. And press continue. We again redirect him to the URL we want, and here it is. The information is updated. Everything is in the audit logs, and yeah. So we can see that, for example, registration number has been changed, right? So yeah, I guess that's it from the demo. Also, all those rules as a for example, I don't know. I will go with the one on this. For example, with the sanctions checks, you can adjust if you want to check the sanctions only one time when the company is initially onboarded. If you want to check sanctions every time the client updates the form, or you want to let's say renew the sanctions every time only if the company, for example, name has changed or the country has changed. So it's very also flexible. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for that. That was really thorough, and I personally like the system. I think the fact that you have your own proprietary KYC screening, KYB, direct hookups. I thought the information was laid out in a relaxed way where every tab is not packed with stuff. So yeah, from a workflow automation perspective, I think everybody can agree in the chat as well that what we saw was pretty top tier. So thank you guys. Genuinely, you have a great product, and just wanted to say that our LinkedIn experienced some issues. For some reason, Adamus and Victor LinkedIn midway decided that it's going to just stop the stream and go in a loop. But YouTube worked out really well. We'll have a little chat after this about like what will happen, and we'll review it together. But no, Adamus, thank you so much. That was really insightful. Victor, did you feel like there was any points you wanted to add further, or just add a few more comments?
I would say Adamas went through a great flow, so I don't have anything to add.
Awesome. Adamus, any last comments from you as well on what you showed us, the vision of the product, what your analysis and thoughts are?
No, I think I've showed pretty much it, but as mentioned at the very beginning of the of our event, right, that we trying to be innovative. We doing updates every 2 weeks, so we have a bunch of the plans for the from the service. We want to more integrate things that will help compliance officers to save time. So the next one is that is planned is the AI functionality that could, let's say, approve the company on behalf of the clients if it doesn't have any flags, right? So just automatically reviews the sanctions, reviews the identity verifications, reviews the reports, checks if the company provided legit information and it's on the reports, and it could approve. For example, if the company has some flags, then we could send a notification that for the compliance officers, hey, take a look at this. So yeah, we're constantly working on that, also improving the coverage of those reports, trying to get the more data we can. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you guys. Again, so unfortunate with LinkedIn. Not sure what's going on with LinkedIn. We probably need to email them and make some threats there. But look, thank you guys again. Love the demo, very thorough. And next time, what we'll try to do is we'll try to set this up again so we could get some live audience questions, and perhaps if there's feedback, we can go into more depth on different areas of the platform. But as what we saw, we just saw a flow of how to onboard a client. We didn't even get to see the risk assessment. We didn't get to see the risk scoring. We didn't get to see the settings, different user levels. So these are all things that are out there. They're in the platform and they're really good. So, and then lastly, just if what kind of customers should reach out to you? So if you're watching and working in compliance, should you just reach out, or is there a particular type of customers that you feel like you know, fintechs or US firms that should particularly reach out to you?
Yes. Basically, in our webpage, you can see that it's not only the financial institutions, it's as well as HR software companies, healthcare companies, crypto exchanges, other companies in need for great onboarding services or for business verifications. I would say it more depends on the use case and not specifically the industry.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think that the interesting part is that we have some customers, especially for the business verification, that are not even regulated, right? They are some regular distributors or let's say industries that are working that are not regulated, and they are checking their suppliers, their partners, because their brand is very important from them. And you know, especially nowadays when those things are happening worldwide, and we have many sanctioned companies, sanctioned countries where so they want to double check their suppliers if they are not avoiding the sanctions and things like that. So yeah. So nowadays the business verification is really used by the customers that are not even regulated, but their brand is very important for them, brand image.
Yeah, I would say it's like business due diligence as opposed to verification, because I've had similar experience with consulting firms, non-regulated entities wanting to do checks on their counterparts to figure out the reputational risk that is posed by them, as opposed to monetary risk, aka will they be able to pay up in the next invoice? What's their credit like? Are they going to be insolvent? Are they even going to be a business down the line? I think fintechs, banks, the ones I speak to, are really interested in the wider data sets that you guys provide. Again, thank you both for attending this. For the next one, we'll probably again set this up, try to post this on LinkedIn somehow. But yeah, grateful to all the people who watched this. And again, apologies for LinkedIn, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye bye.